Zeds incoming in 3, 2, 1.
A few years ago, the Killing Floor series was my jam on PC. Tripwire Interactive are masters at making the player feel like an absolute badass while still offering up a challenging experience that's both fun and frantic. With their latest entry in the series, Killing Floor Incursion, Tripwire does an admirable job at making the experience in PSVR feel almost as good as it does with a mouse and keyboard or a controller. There isn't much content in Killing Floor Incursion, but that's okay considering players probably won't want to jump into VR for prolonged periods of time. The story mode is short and feels a bit like a missed opportunity, although you can tell the team put a lot of effort into working with the limitations of VR while still building something that feels compelling. There are times where the story mode is quite fun, but other times where it can drag due to sections that require you to backtrack and search very limited locations. These backtracking sections feel like a wall that's just stopping me from doing what I really want to do, kill as many Zeds as possible. While it's not much compared to other VR stories already available, it's a good mode that'll help players get accustomed to the game's more challenging control scheme. The campaign is packed with a handful of short missions that can each be done in short play sessions. Even with only a handful of missions, there's a refreshing amount of variety to each, and the puzzles located within them are unique to each location. Puzzles usually have you explore the environment or backtrack as enemies hunt you down. There's a sense of urgency when they're done well, but as I said before, they can sometimes feel a little bit like a drag to what is a really good VR shooter. Holdout Mode is the other mode in Killing Floor Incursion, and if you haven't already guessed, based on my thoughts about the story, it's the better of the two modes. In conventional Killing Floor fashion, this mode has you survive against hordes of Zeds who will progressively come at you harder and harder as time goes on. There's online leaderboards so players can compete for high scores, and if you're a Killing Floor fan, this is a must-try in VR. Both the story mode and Holdout can be played solo or with another player via online. Having a second player watch your back is handy and makes the modes a little less intimidating for players who might not be accustomed to a VR shooting title like myself. Killing Floor Incursion has a pretty confusing control scheme at first. I won't go into specifics here, but you'll be using just about every button on the PlayStation Move controller, so don't be too intimidated if you don't pick it up right away. After a couple of story missions, I was dismembering Zeds with ease and feeling like an absolute badass while doing so. Movement is done through teleportation while the X and O buttons are used to turn. I don't really love teleporting in VR titles, but it works relatively well for the most part in Killing Floor Incursion. As we're still pretty early on in the age of VR games, I did encounter some issues with the controls at times. To fire the sniper rifle and shotgun in the game, you'll manually have to pump the shotgun and keep the bolt action sniper going yourself. There were times where I felt that I was doing the right motions, but the game still didn't pick up on my movements, causing me to take damage. These occasional missteps did cause frustration at times, but when they work, they do feel very good. Using melee weapons is a treat as well. Each hit feels truly impactful, and watching a Zed's head pop off as you swing an axe into it is so incredibly satisfying. All of your weapons are holstered to different sections of your body. Once you have the muscle memory down for grabbing them, you can start to feel yourself move and kill at faster rates, resulting in the type of carnage you expect in a Killing Floor game. I'd say that Killing Floor Incursion is easily one of the best VR shooters on the PlayStation VR at the moment. There are the occasional missteps you find in VR titles. It's easy to tell that Tripwire Interactive put a lot of care and effort into this game, and because of that, it's an easy recommendation for any PSVR owner looking for a bloody good time. For the written review, head over to DualShockers.com.